Hey Jaelyn, you have an incoming call.
Answer the call.
Hi, Jaelyn. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Sure. Why don't you tell me a bit about what brings you here, and what you hope to achieve through counseling?
I've been dealing with some pretty intense feelings and confusion around cuckoldry. It's affecting my relationships and my mental health. I just want to understand why I feel this way and how to manage it.
Sure. That's a good starting point. Can you tell me more about a specific event or moment when these feelings became particularly troubling for you?
One significant moment was during a family vacation when I was 16. I stumbled upon some adult content online that triggered a mix of emotions: curiosity, excitement, and guilt. It was my first encounter with the concept of cuckoldry.
Please don't. It's important to understand these early experiences. How did you feel at that moment? What was going through your mind?
I felt ashamed and confused, unable to reconcile these feelings with the person I thought I was supposed to be. I buried those feelings, hoping they would go away, but they only grew stronger over time.
We should all start to life before we get too old. So, burying those feelings didn't help, and they grew stronger. When did these feelings start to impact your relationships?
It really started to affect me during my relationship with Sarah in grad school. I tried to suppress it, but it only caused more tension and confusion. Ultimately, it led to our breakup.
Sure. Breakups can be very painful, especially when unresolved feelings are involved. How did you cope with the breakup?
I felt emotionally scarred and started questioning whether I could ever reconcile this part of myself with a healthy, loving relationship. I sought therapy because I knew I needed professional help.
Seeking help is an important step. Can you describe more about your relationship with Sarah and how your feelings of cuckoldry impacted it?
Sarah was understanding and compassionate. We supported each other through the demands of our program and shared a deep emotional connection. But my obsession with cuckoldry began to resurface more intensely, causing tension and distance.
What specific events or triggers caused these feelings to resurface during your relationship with Sarah?
There wasn't a single event, but the stress of grad school and the deepening of our relationship seemed to amplify my feelings. I felt guilty and ashamed, and it started to affect our relationship.
Please don't. Guilt and shame can be very powerful emotions that impact our relationships deeply. Did you ever try to talk to Sarah about your feelings?
I did, but it was difficult. I confessed my feelings and fantasies to her, but the weight of my confession was too much for both of us to bear. We tried to work through it, but eventually, we decided to part ways.
Sure. It's understandable that such a heavy topic would be challenging to navigate. How have you been coping since the breakup?
I've been trying to focus on my career and personal growth. Seeking counseling is part of that effort. I want to understand and accept this part of myself, and find a way to manage it in a healthy manner.
That's a positive step forward. Let's talk a bit about the definition and causes of cuckoldry. Cuckoldry is when a man derives arousal from his partner being with other people. It's thought to have origins in the behavior of certain species of cuckoo birds. How do you feel about this definition?
It fits with what I've experienced. The idea of my partner being with someone else is both arousing and terrifying. It's a mix of emotions that I struggle to understand.
There are many theories about why people develop these feelings. Some see it as a form of masochism, where the emotional pain and humiliation bring arousal. Others see it as a biological charge, where competition for a partner's affection heightens sexual response. Do any of these theories resonate with you?
I think the masochism theory makes sense. When I imagine these scenarios, there's a strong element of humiliation that seems to drive the arousal.
Sure. Understanding the underlying causes can help us address the feelings more effectively. Another theory is compersion, the pleasure of seeing your partner pleased by someone else. Do you think this applies to you?
Yes, I can see that. There's definitely a part of me that feels pleasure in knowing my partner is being pleased by someone else. But it's also mixed with jealousy and fear.
Jealousy and fear are natural responses. It's important to acknowledge these emotions and understand where they come from. How do you usually respond when these feelings of jealousy and fear arise?
I try to suppress them, but it often leads to anxiety and emotional distance. It's hard to find a balance between the arousal and the negative emotions.
Please don't. Suppressing emotions can often lead to more intense feelings over time. Have you tried any strategies to manage these emotions, such as mindfulness or communication with your partner?
I've tried mindfulness, but it's still difficult to manage. Communication has been a challenge because of the fear of judgment.
Sure. Fear of judgment can be a significant barrier. Building a safe space for open communication is crucial. Let's explore some techniques to help you manage these feelings and improve communication with future partners.
That sounds helpful. I'm willing to try anything to understand myself better and build healthier relationships.
Sure. We'll work on this together. It's a journey, but you're taking the right steps by seeking help and being open to exploring these feelings.